Uh, uh, I'm just, I'm just gonna, yeah.
Big booty, but you got a big booty.
Oh,
Big booty, but you got a big booty. Figure big booty, but you got a big booty. Go to work. Big booty, but you ain't that a freak.
this show felt like it took forever to get back on air. You know how there are some people, I've said this before, that watched an early screening of it, like the whole three episodes at once, like a movie, and had to wait 3 weeks for this new episode to come out. Well, thanks to Adult Swim's little April Fool's prank, hilarious by the way. Their prank was hilarious, by the way. Those people have now had to have waited for close, like literally a month, and I feel so sad for them. So sad for them. But yeah, episode 4 is here, and I'm tripping balls. I was tweeting this like online because my friend, we were watching it together. So I was watching the past 3 episodes with her, and then I watched the fourth one. So to me, everything was still fresh in my mind because it's been like 2 weeks since episode 3. So sorry for my monotone voice. I just oh boy. So we see Jack fall down from that height, but he's still alive through whatever means. He fell down on some trees, and I remember some people's theories of how maybe the daughters of Aku, when they landed on the tree and they bled to death. But here we see Ashi's blood, and I just knew she was faking from the start. But if that's her blood, I don't know how she lived. If that's not her blood, then whose blood is it? We have the crows muttering murderer, murderer, which must have been the driving force to want Jack to let her to live. But seriously though, whose blood is this? It can't be her sister's because we don't see them anywhere. And could her sister still be alive if that's the case? So many unanswered questions. Also, you could attribute the fact that the crow screaming at Jack murderer and there only being one sister left could be the reason why he decided to spare her. Like he finally has a moment to think clearly and maybe seeing her face, finally actually seeing them, seeing that they are human, they are female, maybe. And you know how she talked a bit in the last episode, how you will die, samurai, die, 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 and you just, maybe that also made him feel like, okay, she's had a one-track mind, she needs redemption. Jack at first tries to speak with her, which bombs and fails in every way, manner, shape, and form. Like Ashley's having none of this. She won't listen to him. She's basically just a child at this point, and it's like, okay, you can't really blame her. Jack's thinking like, okay, maybe if he redeems her, he might feel redemption himself. He believes that yes, this he's dealing with a child who doesn't know better. Then out of nowhere they get swallowed clean whole, which is something that, if you don't want any spoilers, then don't go to Samurai Jack season 5 Wikipedia, because I think I've seen what will happen in like episode 9. So I'm not saying anything here, but I know of upcoming events, which is also annoying because I always seem to spoil stuff for myself. Like people can't spoil stuff for me, I always end up spoiling stuff for myself. So Archie is still trying to get Jack despite them actually getting eaten alive, and Jack's just like, are you kidding me? Archie hits her head, like that was just painful, and she gets knocked unconscious, and the rest of the episode is just Jack trying to get her out, get themselves out despite everything, even though they've been swallowed alive, even though Archie has proven so many times just leave her there, let her die. But he's so honorable and good that he just can't do it, and that ass though. If a love story does not bloom between these two, I have given up. I give up. Like, come on. It has all the breeding ground. That is a good duo. Then there's the imagery in this show in the beginning when Jack just woke up and just attacked because in his head he just saw women with Aku's face attacking him, and then as she's seeing her mom with this kind of demonic face telling her to kill the samurai. It's like when Jack turned her into a backpack. I think that's the only his saving grace, that she was tied up. I feel like she could have made better use of her legs if she wanted to take Jack out, but who knows. And then there's Jack's little subconscious and her, I think, subconscious, I don't even freaking know, the crab monster that came and abducted her and Jack just killing her, and Jack's, well, I call it original subconscious, that's like, oh good, she's dead, let's go. it's it's the comedy of Samurai Jack that I love so much, with this new dark tone, and Ashi's still not grateful, and his subconscious is like, what did you expect, a hug and a kiss? And I'm like, well, maybe he did. Come on, you guys, come on. Oh my god, and the part where Ashi is just singing Aku's praises constantly, and we know Jack to be someone who can ignore you, but even he has his limits, and he just cracks on her like, you are insane, woman, like, you are mental, Aku ruined everything. And obviously she won't believe him, and that awkward scene with Jack picking off the needles off her face, oh my god, I literally wanted to claw my eyes out. And this whole time I just kept saying that Jack is gonna get out of this monster through its butthole. There's no other way, people. And when Ashi tried to sabotage them getting up, that, oh god, this was a cute little road trip. Or the part where Jack suited up in that monster's like remains, and he was like, I like the back fur, and I'm like, this is the most Jack has ever talked. Like, in this episode, Jack has talked more times than he has, you know, in like seasons. Like, I'm sure there are some episodes where Jack doesn't say anything. Like, the thing I like about Samurai Jack is that they don't really need speech, or what the hell do you call this thing, monologue or whatever, to communicate. Like, there can be entire episodes where nobody says anything, nobody says shit, like all you hear is music, sometimes maybe lack thereof, and it's still amazing. And in this case that we hear Jack a lot, it's like more impactful, like I'm hanging on his every word. It's incredible. Or when those flying animal things, my friend actually said that this is a dream sequence, like they're high or something. Like, she refused to believe they're actually conscious for this. And I liked how in the trailer they set up the shot in a way that didn't make us think Ashi was with Jack, which is something I really appreciate. Like, let me not know what's actually gonna happen in the next episode. Like, I want to know, but don't let me know, you know? Yeah, I think you know. And then they try and escape through the monster's butthole. They had this whole action chase sequence that reminded me of the time when Jack was underwater. I know I mentioned that, like, with the whole thing, it just had that vibe down to a T. And even though Samurai Jack is a serious episode, they have comedy, but the comedy sometimes makes me cringe, and I don't know if it's a good kind of cringe or the bad kind of cringe. Like when Jack is twirling around with his arms and legs spread out and Ashi behind him, like, that's just why. You can still see the wacky samurai in the future-esque vibe they had. And how did this monster get out to sea? Somebody please explain that to me. I was actually worried at a moment, like, oh no, they'll drown, they're out at sea, no! Jack's still trying to save this bitch's ass, even though I want him to. They find like a little island, because of course they did, and Ashi found her weapon, which of course she did. She takes it, just sneaking up on the samurai, and I'm like, do you really think he doesn't know that you're coming to kill him? Like, do you really think that? After everything. And Jack was also calm too. Maybe he heard her stop, or maybe he actually wasn't thinking, or I just doubt that this sneak attack would have worked. Then a ladybug comes by, and then Ashi has a memory that triggered what Jack said of, if you open your eyes you see. And even me, I was thinking, Jack, what kind of advice is that? She will never see. What can she open her eyes to? Whatever she sees will only solidify what she thinks of Aku is master. But then her memory was of her mom / the priestess squashing a ladybug, and that this is a distraction. And we all know Ashi has always been intrigued by life and the world and everything, even taking first watch for the sisters and then stargazing. You could say she was looking out for her sisters, or you could also say it was her trying to find an opportunity to gaze at the world. And then I just love the scene where, okay, she flashes back to the present and the ladybug goes to Jack, and Jack just takes it and sends it off. Like, that could not be a better contrast to, okay, open your eyes and you'll see it. Because if Aku is who you say he is, he wouldn't want anybody to hurt something so pretty or so small. But Jack didn't do it, and he's supposed to be the bad guy. Although, if you look at it from another point of view, you could think that he could just be pretending. Like, I'm a well-rounded character. I've watched a lot of girly happy things where the guy pretended to be good and he was actually bad. So here it could be the same thing. So I don't want her to just go 180 and believe Jack's a good guy, because maybe in the next episode Jack still might have some convincing to do. But this is a perfect step. This was a beautiful episode. It was everything I wanted it to be between Jack and Archie. I loved it. And please let a love story blossom, please. I know there's some people who attack me in the comments like I shouldn't bring my bullshit love story and ruin Samurai Jack, and I'm like, okay, calm down. If I'm not forcing the love story on them, if it happens, it happens. I just want it to happen. What's wrong with wanting something? Just like you don't want it to happen, I want it to happen. We have equal rights here, so can you please not be a douche? Yeah, and then there's some people who say that, okay, they hope Jack will be like a mentor to her and whatever. And I was telling my friends that, okay, is it because they feel like Jack is 70 and Ashley is like a teenager? Like, no. Have you guys not heard of something called Twilight? Edward was like 107, or was it 117? The books and the movies do not correlate. And Bella was like, what, 17, 18, 19? I don't even fucking know. 20? No, I don't think she lived. I don't think she got turned into a vampire before 20. What am I talking about here? But a love story could blossom, because I see Jack as a 20-year-old, despite what he's going through now, being 50 years older with the beard and everything. But Jack back then looked 20, 25, and Ashley looks 22, 21. I don't see Ashley as a teenager, but whatever. She even looks Asian. She looks like she could be his wife. Why am I still talking about this? This review should end by now. Please bear with me. I can be hardcore, cold, ruthless with bloodless, and I can go to the extreme, most girly girl you can imagine in this world. It's something you have to just deal with. Anyway, thanks y'all so much for clicking to watch. Please don't forget to read my books on Wattpad, support me on Patreon, and follow me on Twitter. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay awesome. This is TVC signing out.